I have determined that it is time to officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. While previous presidents have made this a major campaign promise, they failed to deliver. Today, I am delivering. I've judged it.
Donald Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital is against the international opinion, and it legitimizes Israel's brutal occupation of the city, and also dumps the two-state solution for Israel-Palestinian dispute. In a move loaded with deceit, cynicism, and contempt for the Palestinians, the US President Donald Trump made good his campaign promise of moving the US Embassy from Tel Aviv to occupied Jerusalem, in the process giving de jure recognition to Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Until now, the US was masquerading as an honest broker in the never-ending peace talks. Until now, the US was masquerading as an honest broker in the never-ending peace talks for a two-state solution between Israel and Palestine. It was the US that had promised Palestinians a separate state after they were virtually coerced into signing the Oslo Accord in 1993. Trump, in his provocative speech authorizing the shifting of the US Embassy, did not have the courtesy to mention the state of Palestine even once. Trump said that recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel was the right thing to do, and he has criticized his predecessors, and he insisted.
A Palestinian man has been shot dead close to the Israeli-Gaza border. It's the first reported killing since a ceasefire came into force on Wednesday. The IDF says around 300 people approached the border fence east of Khan Yunis, and some tried to break through. Israeli troops then fired warning shots, and after these were ignored, they shot at their legs. Palestinians claim the people were a group of farmers who were trying to retrieve parts from the wreckage of an Israeli jeep. The damage from the 8-day Israeli onslaught is still being assessed. Palestinian supply tunnels close to the Rafah border crossing bore the brunt of the destruction. We're trying to repair the tunnel to get back to work. This tunnel of ours, which has been destroyed, will cost around $30,000 to repair. Since the ceasefire, Israeli troops have moved into the West Bank and made a swathe of arrests. The IDF...
And he insisted that the Palestinians must come on the table, knowing that the bond between the US and Israel is absolutely and truly unbreakable. There was nothing on offer for the Palestinians except a few platitudes and warnings to desist from violence. Palestinians, Trump solemnly opined, should respond to disagreement with reasoned debate and not violence. According to the reports in the US media, the American Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and American Secretary of Defense James Mattis had warned Trump against taking such a dangerous and precipitate step, but both of them were replaced by the Trump. East Jerusalem is the designated capital of the Palestinian state. It is a city where the people belonging to the three faiths, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, coexisted peacefully until the Zionist project was imposed on the region by the colonial powers such as England. The state of Jerusalem, along with the right to return and the statehood, the state of Jerusalem, second, the right to return, and third, the statehood, are the three main pillars of the Palestinian movement.
Building their state on the land of others. Israel has been expanding illegal settlements on occupied land for decades. It's now emerging just how far-reaching this policy is. According to the Israeli newspaper Haaretz, the Jerusalem Housing Committee has plans to build another 50,000 Jewish homes in East Jerusalem, to join the hundreds of thousands already there or in progress.
If all of these plans will be in fact materialized, then it would certainly take us to beyond the point of no return, in which any resolution, political solution to the conflict would simply be impossible.
Settlements are already threatening the few Palestinian neighborhoods that still exist here. This is the Arab neighborhood of Shafat. Residents say they're not getting the necessary Israeli permits for them to be able to build on the open space you see just behind me. Yet just a few hundred meters on, ever-encroaching Israeli settlements continue to be built on Palestinian land. And it's not just about expanding existing Jewish settlements, but also building new ones in Arab neighborhoods. Israeli officials say the numbers are exaggerated, but the policy towards Jerusalem is clear.
The Israeli position on Jerusalem and the Palestinian position of Jerusalem are very different. And that's one of many issues where there's a historical difference between Israelis and Palestinians. Ultimately, the only way to deal, to bridge the gap is through talking, through negotiation. And that's why we say, let's start talking today. Let's start negotiations. Let's start dealing with these complex issues.
For Palestinians, the point of the Israeli plan is to diminish Palestinian presence in Jerusalem, an aim voiced by successive Israeli administrations despite condemnation from the international community. Israeli officials may argue about the precise number of the houses to be built and the timing of their announcement, but the facts speak for themselves in East Jerusalem. More Jewish settlements, less Palestinian homes, and a separation wall sealing Israel's illegal policy. Shireen Tadros, Al Jazeera, occupied East Jerusalem.
And these principles will never be given up. This is what the Palestinian authorities they say. Trump's recognition of Jerusalem is coincided with the centenary of the infamous Balfour Declaration, B-A-L-F-O-U-R, Balfour Declaration.